I'm Kirk Hanson, Executive Director of the Markkula Center for Applied Ethics at Santa Clara University. This is one of a series of short videos with Stephan Rothlin, the Secretary General of the Center for International Business Ethics in Beijing, China. He's also a professor at the International University of Business and Economics in Beijing. One of the questions American companies or European companies ask is, can they take their ethics codes written for Western Europe or written for the United States and simply take them to China and put them to work there?
Well, they can, but I think they have really to adjust very seriously to the Chinese environment, since obviously so many things are extremely different from what back compared to their home countries. And I think it's also important to engage the Chinese in a process. I think it never will take off and it will never be accepted if you just throw the codes at the Chinese. And obviously what a code should also provoke is a better understanding between Chinese and non-Chinese. There are sometimes obvious clashes between foreigners and Chinese. And I think if you engage in a process, what does it mean in our situation here? Mm-hmm. And also emphasize the understanding, the respect for Chinese culture, this will certainly be very crucial.
So let's talk about substance and the process of introducing it. Mm-hmm. On substance, do we have to make adjustments to our codes from the United States in going to China? Do we have to rewrite them because of Guanxi and relationships in China?
No, the substance clearly is the same. But obviously you have a gift-giving culture. So, and what I think, like what is sometimes trumpeted as zero tolerance, just does not fly. You have to always show up with a number of gifts, also gifts geared to seniority, as we are operating in a very hierarchical society, yes. But that you have to strive to communicate clearly which gifts are allowed. And
very clear guidelines on the amounts.
Yes, right. Not just say nominal, that means anything, but amounts of clear price tag, price value, what you think is an appropriate gift.
Or entertainment, I suspect.
Or entertainment also. That's very important for a Chinese host. The host want to show the warmth or to welcome you, but yet you have to spell out clear guidelines.
Got it. Mm-hmm. And then what about the introduction? You say that it has to be introduced in a way that builds understanding between Chinese and Western. What does it mean? Does that mean I can't simply publish my code and send it out to all of my employees by email?
Right, that would certainly not work. So it certainly you have to think hard. Sometimes, obviously, we have to say it helps a crisis. Mm-hmm. So I could refer for one multinational, they got highly criticized for their price fixing, so they have been forced to really engage in a one-year process. So in this dialogue and training seminar, so that after 1 year they had their code written both in Chinese and in English, properly communicated.
And properly communicated means letting people question and ask about it and ask for clarification on the specific Chinese characters used or the specific words used?
Exactly. So to give them a chance to go back to the HR department if they feel insecure, to really voice their doubts. I think each employee should be encouraged to voice their concerns, share their suggestions.
Different from in the West, where we sometimes do simply send out the edict by email.
Right. I think Chinese are maybe less than Japanese obsessed with the consensus. If they really dislike something, I think they have no inhibitions to share that. And so I think that should be encouraged. There are maybe some Western concepts which simply does not fly in China. So all these kind of justified remarks should be encouraged.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thanks.